Good evening, my name is Jim McLaren. Today is Saturday, April the 13th, 2019. Now I'm going to redo the reassembling part of the G500s mouse. And I didn't like the first video I did, so I'm going to try to do a second one. I took it all apart again just to show you. Now this is the new one that I've put in already, and this is the old one here. And the new cable's in here. Now, when you put the new cable in, it's not going to be as hard as it is to take the old cable out. I'm just going to flip it over here a bit here. So you're going to have to get your small screwdriver in here. And when you put it in there, you push it in and then just kind of maybe go in between the wires. Just gently push inside there. And it'll eventually go in. Just take your time and it'll eventually go in. Now, it only goes in one way, and here's the old one. So that the green wire actually goes inside here. So the green wire is inside, and it only goes one way, so you don't have to worry. Now you have to reroute this cable around here. And on the other side too, I was noticing that these pins, that's the only thing that connects the two boards here. These pins, I don't know if you can see that. These pins are the six or 8 pins. Now they go into the bottom of this board. Now you may be able to pry that up gently, but I don't know. I would probably still go with the old-fashioned way and just plug that connector in there. And think that they may be able to pry that apart. I don't know, but I want to take a chance. I know this part of it works, so we'll do it that way. So now you get the cable back in. Now this, I'll show you this plastic piece that's got to go back in here. This is the plastic piece, and it's very hard to see. See, there's 2 holes in it here, and there's 2 small pegs here in the top. That's got to go in flat on top of the mouse between the 2 boards, and these pegs got to stick up here. You can just see them there now. These pegs got to stick up and then on the end of the mouse. Here's the diagram of that thing. So there's 2 holes in here, and there's 2 pegs in here. So that's got to go back inside. So we'll put it inside the mouth, and we'll put that plastic thing back inside there. And you have to push down here, get it going, and make sure this cable is around the outside of that post here. Just push it down here. Just use a screwdriver to get it going down. Yeah, it's going down now. Now I'm going to have to put that plastic piece in there. And there's 2, actually, you can see the 2, you can see the 2 pegs that's got to go through here. So that plastic piece has got to go through there, and you have to lift it up a bit to get it in there. So my tweezer, see if I can get it in there. It's hard when you got big hands. I'm just going to pause it and then try to get in there. So in fact, I get that plastic piece in there. I put it over the top of the 2 holes. Then I just snapped it down very lightly. And you see the two posts here, one on each side. Let's put that down a little bit more. See the 2 small posts, it's hard to see here. They're on both sides. There's one side here and the other side right here, both sides. Now reroute your wire for your mouse, USB cable. Make sure that post right there, make sure it's around that post. There's some remnants of glue here too. Now I guess you can use a dab of glue here if you want. I'm not going to do that. Put the wire in here. Make sure it's down. Now the next part is to put those two small screws in here. There goes, one goes right here, right by the ribbon cable, and one is recessed in here, right at the top. And this, you can see, I don't know if you can see that logo. There's a Logitech logo right inside there. That's where those two screws go. Now I magnetized my screwdriver now because my hands are so big. It's hard to grasp these small little screws here. So that one goes inside here. Just see it there. That's just, and don't over tighten them. Get the other screw set up. So I just took my screwdrivers, ran it over top of a magnet for a few minutes. Now I can hold the screw, put it inside here. It's not going all the way down. There. There's the nice, just snug. Don't over tighten them. Let's make sure that's one here at the top. So 2 screws to hold this plate back on this the double plate here. One beside the ribbon cable, one inside here. Now the next thing we're going to do is put this small little connector on here. I'm going to show you a picture of it. So this is the connector that's going to go on next. And what happens, the wheel goes underneath that hook, and then it snaps in to the other harness on the top, onto this harness here. So we're going to put that in. It's super small here. That's what it looks like. Very small. Once I get it in, hope you can see this. I'm using my 00 screwdriver. It's hard to see what's in the hole there. Get in there. Oh, sorry. Move the camera. Sorry. Sometimes it can't be helped. Just snug them up. Don't over tighten them. Just snug them up. They're so small. My God. Sorry. I keep knocking the camera. Sorry. Now, you look at the side here. You see the side? That's where that wheel's going to hook in. Your wheel's going to hook in there first, and then you're going to put this. Next step is to put that bridge on there. I'll show you that. Now the screws are already in here. This is the next step. Put those screws into that. That's where the wheel goes into the pin, where the pin goes through. And the screws face the front of the mouse. It's hard to see this because it's Okay, I think I got it in. There. Just snug it in now. So that bridge is in there. That's what holds the, and you put your pin through here. I can see the holes through here or not. See the hole? So that's where that counter pin goes through there. That holds the wheel in place. And those screws face the front of the mouse, or the. Now I see I have to put my cable back in here. Now the other thing too. Now, I'm not going to put my springs back in there. You only have. This might be a good idea to put that glue in there to hold this in place. Dab of glue with a glue gun. Now the next part is the wheel, and like I said, it hooks in the front, then it snaps in the back here. So it hooks in the front part here like this at an angle here, then it snaps in the back here. There it goes. Now that wheel is in now. Now the next step, see how the wheel goes in? The next step is to put that counter pin in here. I'll talk about the springs in a few seconds here. My springs, I'm not going to put them in because I only got one. And get that counter pins in there now. Now I'm just going to turn it down a bit so it stays in here. So talking about the springs again. The springs, the two small springs, there's one of them. See the thing rolling around? See the thing rolling around there? That's a spring. And you can get them off Amazon. I think it's about $10 for about maybe 10 of them. There's several different mice it will fit. So 10 of them for about $10. So I guess the extra springs, because they are very hard to insert. So those springs go in those two holes, and when you put your wheel back on, that holds the springs in place, and it's got to do with the toggling of your wheel here. So we got that pin in here. The mouse is, the wheel's in the thing that was hooked underneath there, and it's got a pin through here. Just pause the video for a sec. Now the next step is to put the counterweight back in. I got the 3 screws in here, and I'm going to be using my Phillips Zero, the Vera Phillips Zero. Those are nice screwdrivers. I did a review of those screwdrivers. No, that pin that came out, I just got to grab that screw here. Now there's 2 holes here that they go in. There's the other screw. See, those screws are so easy to come out. There's 2 holes in there that go over top of it, like a little stem that comes up. And then just tighten these here. Like I said, these screws are very small. So I magnetized this one, goes down here. I have it lined up here. It's hard to see this. It's hard to see this thing. So I got those screws. I just got to tighten them there. That's where your weights go. So there's 3 screws and 2 pegs that though that little red plastic thing fits over top of it. Just tightening them, snugging them up. Okay, the mouse is all back together except for this ribbon cable. Now, most of you are not going to have problems with this. I can go off camera because it's going to be very hard to show you what it goes. It goes inside that, inside there, that little plastic thing. Now, when you put it inside here, see that white part of the blue in the middle of the blue? That's got to be all the way inserted, so you shouldn't see this white part here. When you insert that ribbon cable back into the mouse, you shouldn't see that white piece, and then you just snap that piece back down. So this goes back in here, and you're going to have to fiddle with it. I'm going to fiddle with it and get it in, because it's to me, that's one of the hardest parts to get back in. So I'm going to go off camera and do it, and then you're going to have to play with that ribbon cable, get it in there, and line it up, and then snap that piece down. So I'll pause the video and I'll get that off camera. Finally got that ribbon cable in there. It took me a while, and it just slides in there. I ended up using tweezers to hold that ribbon cable, flatten it out, and then get it inside there. And then you can see that the blue, no white showing, and just the blue. Then it's like a lid. It snaps down and holds that ribbon cable in place. Now your mouse is ready to go back together. I just snap it back in here. And start putting the screws back in. Again, my fingers are so big that it's hard for me to get. So I magnetized my screwdriver here. So there's 5 screws that went in here, that came out of here. There's 5 screws that got to go back in here. And again, you can get a lot of parts for this G500. It must be a very popular mouse. G500s, that's my model number. And you can get the pins for the feet for it, the rubber feet for it. You can get the wheel for it. You get the springs for it, and other parts you can get for it too. The wheel too, I think. So I use this mouse a lot. It's a very, very popular mouse. Got some nice features to it. Again, just tighten it, don't over tighten it. It's got 4 screws in there, and the 5th one goes in there underneath that. I guess it used to be the logo on mine, but I wore it right out. So that one's recessed in here. Just tighten them, snug them up. All the parts are off Amazon as well. The springs, the pads, most pads. Then you would put your weights back in here if you had weights. I don't have weights. So these stickers, they can go back on. I guess they're sticky enough to go back on. You can glue them back on if you want. You know, a special kind of glue. I don't know. I just ordered the new pads. And worry about gluing this on the right glue, and it comes off when you're playing a game. So this is a G500s, and all put back together. Just pause the video and plug it in. There's the mouse plugged back in. The lights are on it here, so I got the ribbon cable connected, and it's all back together here. I've done it 3 times now, and hopefully this helps you to reassemble the Logitech G500s. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you watched this the first time today, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for taking the time to listen to my video today. Have a great day.